Lane Kiffin, what are you doing?
Listen, put me in the parking lot, with Bears, and I'll go out there and play. It don't matter.
You are Locked On Auburn, your daily podcast on the Auburn Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, welcome on into Locked On Auburn, your daily Auburn Tigers podcast. I'm your host, Zac Blackerby, and thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. Happy Charlie Tuesday to all who celebrate. Boy, what a day. Monday.
Yes.
I guess we go in chronological order as we discuss this, I guess.
Sure. Started off pretty relatively calm, and then from at about 4 o'clock on, it's been absolute chaos.
Yeah. So he met with the media. It got moved back like a few hours, which they later said it was just because of no classes and they could scoot it back just because they could, which is cool, whatever. I don't think that's that unusual. Then he was asked about the job, and he was only asked once about it. And so It's like, okay, that's cool, whatever. Gave a weird kind of tongue-in-cheek response about, like, what do you guys want me to say? Something about, like, a pine box or whatever, which is obviously a nod to Tubbs, right?
Yeah.
When he was head coach at Ole Miss and then left for Auburn.
He said, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to give you the pine box speech or the I'm not leaving, I'm not going to be the head coach at Alabama speech? Basically, he's like, what do you want me to do right now? Like, do you want me to just give you this crazy speech? It's the way I took it was almost, do you want me to give you this big speech right now that's not going to end up being true? That's kind of what it sounded like to me. And then he made the crazy comment was the one that started, and this is a total Lane thing, but it kind of jives with the reason he may be looking at Auburn to begin with. They asked him, hey, you're going to have a chance to go 3-0 in the last 3 Egg Bowls. What does that mean for you and your program? And he goes, hopefully it means we get a facility that doesn't leak. And I was like, wow. Like, especially when you've talked about the crowd, you've talked about support, you've talked about facilities, whatnot. And everybody was like, man, I don't feel any better about this situation.
No.
On this side after that press conference was over.
Yeah. And so then I guess fast forward to when a lot of people are eating dinner, right? A birthday dinner for my father. And John Sokoloff, who is the same guy, he's a TV guy in Missippii, same guy that broke John Cohen Auburn AD story. First guy that broke it. Talked to some Ole Miss folks, and they're like, Sokoloff is Cohen's dude. Is Cohen's guy. So some credibility there. He tweets, breaking, Ole Miss head coach Lane Kiffin plans to step down as the Rebels coach Friday and head to Auburn to become the Tigers' next head coach, according to sources. Sources say the Tigers haven't officially offered the job to anyone yet. So Lane to Auburn is happening. Story soon. So that happens. So everybody runs with that, right? Because the credibility's there. Yeah, I mean, it's like, oh, okay, all right. Because I think everybody sees the writing on the wall. Everybody's just waiting for it to get confirmed by somebody, right? And so
right.
People are like, okay, cool. According to reports of Sokoloff, this is what's happening. And then Lane Kiffin. Well, first, Ole Miss puts out a response, and they're like, we deny this to be true. He's coaching the Egg Bowl Thursday, right?
Right.
Which is
not what the tweet said. The tweet didn't say he wasn't going to coach Thursday.
Right. Sure. But Ole Miss, very cool. Very good. I'm glad you're part of this. That's great. Then Lane Kiffin quote tweets the Sokoloff tweet and says, that's news to me, John. Nice sources with a bunch of emojis, which is objectively funny, right?
Yes.
Objectively funny.
And then the tweet after that.
Probably the best tweet I've ever seen.
Yeah. You read it.
It's a picture of, I guess, a printed out piece of paper or a picture of him just typing in something on Microsoft Word or something. This is Lane Kiffin. This just in, breaking news, John Sokoloff of WCIB News in Starkville, Mississippi, plans to step down as lead anchor and head to WLOX to become their new lead anchor. Sources say WLOX hasn't offered the job to anyone yet. So John to WLOX is happening. Story soon.
That is, how much more? We talk about fit. with Auburn Twitter, could there be a better fit than Lane Kiffin with the Twitter reputation that we have? I mean, I can't imagine a better guy.
Well, there's a clear split, right? There's a clear split. I think a lot of the older fan base doesn't want him, right, because of baggage. And I was talking to somebody about this. They're like, yeah, well, he at Tennessee, he was terrible. I'm like, that was 2009.
Yeah.
I was in like 10th grade in 2009. Who cares? You're saying you haven't 12 years you haven't changed at all? Like, get over yourself with that. And so that's kind of been the beauty of Lane Kiffin's career arc and all of this is he's changed, right? And he's turned into this leader. So I don't know if that's the argument I would go with if you're anti Lane Kiffin, but I think everybody
you could draw that. You could draw that line with anybody. You could go back far with Hugh Freeze. I'm sure you could go back far with Deion Sanders and find things that you don't want. I mean, all the top candidates, if that's the game we're going to play, like, you got to just be really careful because you're going to come off wildly inconsistent. Like, it's just no way to be consistent when you're talking, when you just use emotional stuff like that.
You're right. You're absolutely right. So, I guess the bottom line after all of this, I still believe Lane Kiffin will be Auburn's next head coach.
Sure. This is, to me, sort of screams, because this was not an Auburn deal. Like, this is not an Auburn deal. Had nothing to do with Auburn. Like, we had this thing going like we wanted to go. It's gonna smooth over. He's gonna coach the Egg Bowl, and then more than likely swoop in. He's gonna be the coach announced either right before the Iron Bowl or right after. I think that's kind of the plan that we all had. And then this bomb gets dropped. This, to me, after that press conference, Ole Miss is like, screw this. We're going to blow this whole thing up. We're just going to blow this whole thing up. And they leak this thing out there, and they're like, whatever happens, happens. So, but we're just going to go ahead and blow it. We're going to get this out there, blow this whole thing up. It's accelerated some things. I don't know. I mean, how do you coach the Egg Bowl now? Like, how do you,
right.
How do you go in? I mean, the fan base is going to be, they do a walk of champions, kind of like the Tiger Walk. They walk through the Grove. Like, how's that going to be? Like, is Lane going to even do it? I mean, it's just everything about it seems sort of like, screw. We know we're going to lose him, so let's just blow this whole thing up. That, to me, that's the way it feels. I could be wrong, but I don't see the benefit. I don't see the benefit from Lane leaking it. Like, I don't see the benefit from Auburn leaking it. And I really don't even see a benefit other than petty blow it up type stuff from the Ole Miss side.
So with all the opportunities and with all the spotlights, whether it was press conference or Twitter last night, Lane Kiffin had three options. The way I see it, he had three options, and I'll tell you which one he did in just a moment. Right here on Locked On Auburn. Today's show is brought to you by Upside. Inflation has us all thinking about different ways to cut back, whether it's driving less, dining out less, or buying less from the grocery store. We can all agree that nothing is fun about less. That's why I started using Upside. Upside's an incredible free app for anyone who buys gas, groceries, or dines out. If you are listening or watching, that is probably you. With Upside, I don't have to cut back because I get cash back on every purchase. Look, we all buy gas all the time, probably more than we would like, food, whatever it may be. You download the free Get Upside app, use promo code LOCKED. You'll get a little bit extra money that way. And you just essentially take a picture of the receipt and you redeem the deal that's in the Upside app. And then like 24 hours later, boop, money drops into your account. It's so easy to use. Download the free Upside app. Use promo code LOCKED to get $5 more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. That is promo code LOCKED. Auburn message board legend Charlie 5 joining me today. The way I see it, the way yesterday went regarding Lane Kiffin and how he could address and respond to all of this. There's three options.
Okay.
One was you sign the contract that's been on your desk since Thursday.
Yes. Option one.
Which is obvious. Okay, yeah, I'm staying. Right. Option two, you say the following words. I'm staying at Ole Miss.
Right.
He didn't do that. Option three, the one he did, don't do anything.
Yes. Don't say anything. I mean, that's exactly what he did. He did option three.
Yep.
I mean, I try to look at this from a from a fan perspective.
Is that hard? Is it hard to not bug in this situation?
It's really hard not to bug.
Yeah.
I try to just say, like, if I'm Lane Kiffin, what's the most beneficial thing? And if I'm staying at Ole Miss, there is no, like, especially after you're being questioned, even though they're not going to fire you, you're not going to go anywhere. You were questioned after the Arkansas game. Is your head in it? Is your heart in it? If your intentions were to stay the whole time, like, you have to say something. Like, you have to say, I'm staying. You have to tweet out signed, sealed, delivered or something. So, I mean, you have to do something funny or catchy to put these flames out. But no, he did like the absolute opposite of that. He took, like, honestly, if you think about the comment when he said, what do you want me to give you, the pine box statement or the I'm not going to be the head coach at Alabama. He took two shots. He took a shot at Ole Miss and a shot at Nick Saban right there.
The worst thing you could say if you were going to stay there. Like,
no, totally. And you're you're supposedly going to Auburn. So now the team that has to play Nick Saban every year, the biggest rival that you obsess over beating, you take a shot right there, and then you take a shot at the school you're leaving, kind of, about a coach who left there for Auburn. The
cherry on top in all of this is, for the last month, we've been hearing from Ole Miss people over and over and over again that it's a lateral move, that Auburn is not a better job. And all of a sudden, within the last week, the Ole Miss fan base, in combination with getting absolutely waxed by Arkansas, despite probably having a better team than them, has been, I mean, they have just ripped in half. They have absolutely fallen apart. And it's been great. It's been awesome to see that happen, Charlie 5. And we didn't have to do anything.
No, we didn't. It has been kind of fun to watch.
It's been great, really, because it's been the people that were like, no, he would never leave after getting waxed by Arkansas. It's quickly turned into, you know what, he can go. He can go. Or they're still doing the
I'm breaking up with you. You're not breaking up with me.
Totally. Yeah. I saw people, and a lot of people are screenshotting message boards and putting them all over the place, and it's great. It's awesome. And there are Ole Miss fans that think that Lane Kiffin said the things that he said at his press conference yesterday and tweeted out the things that he tweeted last night because he's coming back to Ole Miss. It's like,
it's all an elaborate hoax.
How does that make sense? And so I think maybe by the time this podcast goes up, I think soon, Charlie 5, because I don't know if this was by design or not. This maybe have sped up the timeline of things, but within 24 hours of that John Sokoloff report, I would almost maybe say 12 hours. I don't know. You adjust to that however you see fit. But I think an official offer will be on the table soon.
It has to be now.
It has to.
If you were planning on waiting, you can't. If you were planning on waiting, you can't now because the cat's sort of out of the bag. And if the fire is on Lane right now, so the fire is big time on him. So he's got to make sure he's got an out. So you can't let him just sit there hanging in limbo for
Charlie 5
for 3 to 4 days. What?
The tweet where Lane Kiffin quote tweeted, "That's news to me, John. Nice sources." Brian Harsin just liked it.
Oh my gosh. The plot thickens. Oh dear. I saw he also debarred his whole Instagram. I don't know if you saw that.
I'm surprised it took that long, if I'm being honest.
Debugged the whole thing. Where were we?
Oh, well, I don't know.
Well, we were just talking about how an offer, like we expect an offer, an official offer. That's another thing. We got to get the semantics out of the way. Like they've talked about details of this thing. Okay?
Yeah, and maybe not Lane and John Cohen, but John Cohen and Sexton, right?
Sure.
Kiffin's representation.
But it's not on a piece of paper that's official for them to sign. But there's definitely been some sort of numbers that have been offered, and they're comfortable with them, apparently. If everything is moving in the direction it's supposed to be moving in, you call that whatever you want to call it.
Because Lane can't stay now, right? We're talking about him coaching Thursday. He would have to do an extremely hard pivot and say, "Yeah, I messed up on the messaging of all of this." But like, that's also like not who Lane Kiffin is.
Does he care?
So,
yeah,
I just don't know how that was. Like, it almost feels the bridge is burned. Like there's no bridge standing behind him for him to pivot back, which is great. Probably part of the plan.
I mean, seriously, there's crazy people in this world. Like what happens in that Walk of Champions or Walk of what? I mean, I don't even know why they call it Walk of Champions.
Well, they won a baseball title. So
yeah, I mean, but what do you do? Like, well, what if? I mean, there's crazy people that could do something dumb, like while he's walking, like throw something on him, or I mean, there. This is there
were message
crazy.
board posts that were like, "Be sure to bring your mustard bottles on Thursday."
Yeah, what was that one game where they threw like golf balls? Was it Tennessee where they threw a golf ball at him, or I mean,
went back to Tennessee.
This is not good. I mean, this is not good. Could be.
We have to protect our prince.
We do. We have to protect King Lane. But can you really harm a train when the train starts coming? Can you really stop it? I mean, it just starts coming, and it takes a long time for it to slow down.
Why did we think that this could be a somewhat normal coaching search? Like, it's been so great so far. Like all the names that have popped up and that people have been able to confirm that they're interested in the job. They've all been great names, right? Lane Kiffin, Dabo, Fickle's been sprinkled in there, depending on where you look. I mean, there's been some fun big names. Hugh Freeze, which I think you and I are both higher on than the average person.
Right.
And it's like, okay, cool. I'm fine with any of those. Plus several of the other ones that have been mentioned. You know, I don't know how serious Dion ever was or anything like that, but it's just like, yeah, okay, cool. There's a lot. Dan Lanning. Like there's so many names where it's like, yeah, I'm cool with 6 or 7 of these guys.
Yeah.
Like, how could this possibly go wrong? And then it's like, all right, we zone in on target number 1. And then Lane's just having a ball with, he's just sitting in his house, reading his book on the Egg Bowl, laughing his tail off.
I saw where he has his dog Juice, right? I saw where the dog, who has a Twitter account that has like 30-something thousand followers. And it's like, hey, I just woke up from the nap. Did I miss anything? I mean, hey, here's another perspective. Auburn fans, prepare yourself for this now. Because if this is who he is. So don't think we're not going to be living through this same sort of limbo every now and again, or the unsure. It's like having a girlfriend that's way too good looking for you, and you're always worried about her, cheating on you or something like that. Or you're insecure. I mean, just get ready. We're going to have to deal if he ends up coming here, we're going to have to deal with that too. So the tables will turn. But man, what a wild day. Monday before the Egg Bowl. It's just not what I expected. I expected it to maybe leak a little bit Thursday if something was going to happen, get hot and heavy on Friday, maybe having a formal announcement on Sunday or Monday. But the Monday before, I did not expect this. That's why I think Ole Miss is really trying to do everything they can to either blow this up or make him miserable for the short period of time he has left. So
yeah. All right. So what are the next steps? What do we expect to happen over the next few days? We'll tell you in just a moment right here on Locked On Auburn. Today's show brought to you by our friends at Bet Online. Bet Online has the line for the Iron Bowl, Charlie 5. Auburn plus 22.
Okay, it's going down.
It is going down. I think it was 26.5.
Yeah, started there.
Yeah, so that's nice. I like this a little bit more. I think this is a little bit closer than what I would have guessed the line would be.
Right.
I still think I like Auburn plus 22.
24, I think, was a good. 24 is probably a good number, I think, to start. 26 did seem a little bit high.
Yeah. over under 49.5. So if those lines fire you up, head over to our friends at Bet Online. It's where the game starts. Charlie Five, what are you expecting the next steps to be, right? We kind of hinted that we both believe an official offer will be in front of Lane Kiffin and his representative, Jimmy Sexton, very soon. As this show goes up on a Tuesday, I'm pretty confident it will hit his desk at some point on Tuesday. Maybe it's already been there. We'll have to see. What do you think the next move is after that?
Well, gosh, this thing's so unpredictable now. Like today, like after what happened yesterday, this thing's so unpredictable. I wouldn't be shocked if like all of a sudden it goes super dark and then it starts coming out that he's thinking about staying. Like I would not. I mean, I don't believe that he will, but or that another candidate comes out of nowhere and like for Auburn to like maybe shield him. I don't know that you can shield him though. I don't know. I don't know if you just let him wear it and then he either signs and then all of us also would not be surprised. I mean, he's been let. I mean, could he just walk right now? Could he just sign the contract and walk? That would be like a nuclear option. But
there's no way he doesn't coach like. I'm with you. Like, how do you do that?
Yeah,
but he's not going to bail on that team, right?
I mean, I don't think he would. I don't think he would have before this. I don't think there was any chance that he would have before this.
Is there a point where a team leader goes up to him and it's like, Coach, you got to be real with us. What's going on?
You don't think that's already happened? Surely it has.
I think it would have gotten out.
Yeah, but I mean, this has been talked about for like weeks now. Like nobody on the team has said anything to him.
It would make sense why the play was so bad against Arkansas, but on the same hand, like they had like 700 yards of offense. So like I don't even know if that's a like fair narrative, you know.
I saw a post that said, this is why I think that there's been some talk. There was a post that said Quinshon Judkins just got offered a brand new NIL deal, and he was going to wait to sign it to find out what Lane was going to do. Mm-hmm. So that tells me that, I mean,
you also don't have to wait to sign NIL deals. That's not how it works.
Yeah, you don't wait to get money. Like he's waiting to sign an NIL deal.
NIL deals also, I don't think, can be binding to a school either.
Unless it's like maybe with a collective or something like that.
Yeah, sure. But like if he's getting X amount of dollars, if he signs this new deal where he's getting, I don't know, $10,000 a month or whatever.
He doesn't have to stay at that school.
Yeah, he just leaves and they quit paying him. Like it's not like it's a free agency deal where it's like he's bound there because of it. That's not how that works.
Yeah, but that's literally what on the Ole Miss message, the insiders, he's what see what Lane does before he signed his new NIL deal. So that if that's true, that just makes me feel like there has been some sort of question or chatter amongst the, maybe between assistant coaches and Lane and the team, maybe via that. I don't know, but the wild thing, I don't think I've
Charlie
ever
Five, your internet is hanging on a thread, but no, I'm with you on that. With Quinshon Judkins, that'd be super, super interesting to see. You can check out Charlie Five every single day on the Dad Bod Golf Pod, which is very, very exciting. He is also lurking in the Locked On Auburn Discord, which you can join for free. All you have to do is click the the link in the episode description down below. And also, he's very active in the corner message board with our friends at auburnlive.com. You can find all my written work at auburndaily.com. We'll recap more of this madness tomorrow. This has been Locked On Auburn.